Welcome back to Double Treble, the podcast all about the amazing and diverse group of musical artists. Today we're interviewing fellow choir fanatic Connor Archibek, who has been a member of the choir for more than 10 years. How are you doing today, Connor?
Good, how are you?
I'm doing pretty good. Thank you for asking. So, you've been in choir for more than 10 years. At 19 years old, that's more than half your life. What do you think drew you to choir in the first place?
Originally, I actually joined choir to get out of class. I'm trying to think what grade it was. I want to say second grade. If you were in choir every Wednesday, you got to leave during English. So that's the original reason why I joined.
Interesting. So it just started out with you wanting to ditch class, and now it's become a big passion of yours. Do you think you enjoy singing more with others or by yourself?
Definitely with others. I think I definitely enjoy choral music more than just regular pop music.
Do you listen to it like just choir music instead of like pop music or other popular music types?
All the time. I mean, mostly when I'm doing schoolwork, but also just when I'm in the car by myself, I like to listen to choir music.
Wow. The choir that you're in now is the Universal Choir here at UNM. How is the choir different from other choirs that you've been a part of?
The university chorus is definitely, and I say this in the nicest way possible, it's very slow. um, there are definitely a lot of people not close to my age at all. Every choir I've been in has been with my peers or people around my age, or even in community choirs, it's been still people around my age and people who have done it for a long time. Whereas this choir is honestly full of people who are new to choir and who just do it, who are part of the community. And a lot of them are usually like 60 plus. So,
Have you made any new friends in this choir?
so in this choir, I've met a few different people. There are two ladies in my section, the tenor section, named Barbara and Rachel, and they're these two very sweet older ladies. I've also met a girl named Jay, who I called Joy for the longest time, and she's really cool. And I really enjoy the choir. It's really fun. I have some new friends in there, as long as some older friends who I've known for a long time, and it's just really fun. You get to sing and you get to watch older ladies throw shade at each other from across the room.
Shade at each other? What do you mean by that?
So when there's a mistake, there's one soprano who does not know how to control her voice. And if she makes a mistake, she'll be like, well, if the altos were doing their job, and then the lady from across them will be like, oh, we are, you just can't hear. And they're just very passive aggressive towards each other.
And it's not healthy competition, maybe just cheering each other on.
Yeah.
I've been in choir a long time too, and I love people you sing with are usually willing to help a fellow singer out, although what you're describing maybe isn't necessarily that. But how would you say you take constructive criticism and incorporate it into your singing?
Well, I've definitely done it for a long time. A lot of choir students have to do things like, so an ensemble, all state, so we've learned really, I mean, most of our time in choir is spent getting criticism, whether it be constructive or just blatant criticism. So I think we've all learned how to just take what people tell us and apply it.
What is a piece of constructive criticism that you have received that has helped you the most, do you think?
Honestly, I don't remember much of the criticism I got. A lot of it was in the beginning of my choir journey or experience, and I was very small. I think the recent criticism, or the most recent, was about a year or two ago when I was in high school doing All-State. And one of them had just said that I needed to use more breath support, and that was honestly the only criticism I can remember.
Now, with being in a performance group, obviously comes the performances. These could be very stressful for obvious reasons. How do you stay calm under pressure?
I've never really had to struggle with being anxious for performances and things like that. I mean, I've been in choir for, well, I think 13 years now. And on top of that, even when I wasn't in choir, my dad we went to church every Sunday and he kind of just forced me to lead singing a lot of the Sundays. So from a very young age, I was just kind of thrown on a stage, and I don't know, I guess never was anxious about going on stage and performing.
Has anything ever gone wrong during a performance?
Oh, many times.
How do you deal with it when that happens?
Honestly, you just pretend like nothing is happening, because ultimately the audience doesn't really know it's supposed to happen. I mean, unless it's something that is very clearly wrong or going wrong, usually the audience doesn't know. And if you act like everything's fine, then they won't know the difference.
I think sometimes our performances depend on how invested we are in the music art, like itself. What type of music do you love singing the most and why?
That's a good question. Honestly, any song that's in a foreign language, I think I always have the most fun with, and I'm very invested because I like to learn about the song and where it came from and things like that. I mean, you've been in choir with me, so in high school we had a song called Betelehemu and Osapo, and both of those songs obviously are not in English, and it was just really interesting learning what they were about, what they meant, and just getting to experience a language that has a different cultural background.
Yeah, I remember when we sang Osapo. That was probably my favorite song at the time, but also because our choir teacher had me make monkey noises too.
Oh, yeah.
So like choir isn't always about singing. Sometimes it's just like
Sometimes it's just about monkey noises.
sometimes just about monkey noises or just incorporating, I think, the audience into the feel of the song more. What do you believe is the most important aspect of being a member of choir?
I think the most important part of being in choir is just knowing you're part of a community, supporting those around you, but also really it's a lot about working together. I mean, the main thing you do in choir and you learn in choir is to blend with the people around you because you don't want to sing out and just you want to be loud and project, but you don't want it to just be you. You want to blend with others and not be heard over everyone else.
Okay, well, thank you so much for sharing your musical journey with us today. It's been a pleasure having you on.
Oh, thank you for having me.
Yeah, of course. That concludes our interview with the wonderful Connor Archibek. Thank you all for tuning in, and we'll catch you next time on Double Trouble.